Good day, my wonderful viewers. It's still your brother, Mr. CBN, and then we're still handling this subject of labor market, trying to help you find a place in the labor market. I was actually supposed to get one of my friends, one of my colleagues, to come and help me handle these CV things and all that. I'm more of a skill kind of person, get a skill, training on different skills, especially public speaking. But at the end of the day, the whole thing, they pointed at me, they casted a vote and they voted me and said, CBN, go and then do your thing. So at the end of the day, I said, okay, no wahala, let me still come and drive you guys once more and help you get clarity. Remember, whatever you are to do for you to succeed, clarity is very important. Don't assume you know. Go and know. And when you know and you're properly directed, you find your space in the labor market without much struggles. I would drive this in a sequential order. This segment is purely CV interviews and then strategic ways to finding a space in the labor market, strategic job hunting. You don't just throw yourself into the labor world and then trying to grab jobs from different angles. You will have to struggle for a long time without getting job. People who get job immediately after graduating or even while still in school are smart people who strategically position themselves for the job. The job did not just come on its own. I know there are a few exceptionals who their parents who are well connected pull one or two calls and PM, they're already in the office. But in this instance whereby you and I know that you don't have any backup anybody anywhere, just your head, what you're picking in school, and then the strategies to get out there to find a space. Remember, this journey is not for the smartest, it's for those who understand how to navigate their way. So being intelligent, coming out with first class 2-1 is not a problem. You can be with 2-1 and you are stranded when you leave school. So you need to pay attention to every section of this particular video, this segment, so that you can understand vividly, and then any questions you can send a text to the number on your screen. Communicate us, will help you find your place. At this juncture, I want to start with CV, and I won't spend time there. I want to assume that now you're in your final year or 300 level, or as the case may be, you should have known how to write CV. But for any instance you don't know how to write CV, look at your screen, and then you will see different kinds of CV positioned there for you. You can put your television on hold, your camera, your phone, or your laptop, put it on pause, and then copy out or screenshot that which is on your screen. Use it as a guide to prepare your CV. That's all I can do for you. Then if you have any questions while preparing for your CV, send a text to one of our professionals who will help you as much as you are one of us. And what makes you one of us? Buying the CD, getting this CD has actually quantified you. With that reference number we have, you already have in our database. So anywhere we are holding labor market conference, we invite you, come around, sit down, and you'll be tutored on how to position yourself to get what you want from the labor market. So just watch your screen, look at that CV, look at the positioning. There's a lot of places people omit. That's where we talk about developing a little write-up about yourself, where you describe yourself in few words. Some people write and they write lengthy things and start writing an essay about themselves, while some will make it concise. Advice, make it very concise and catchy, very motivational. And then when you preach out that, people will be very inspired looking through your CV. A lot of CV end up in the office of the sector. When he looks at it, squeeze it and throw it into the trash can. While some gets to the office of the MD and the human resource. Those who get there are those that were technically prepared. They expect you to know. They don't want to teach you. They expect you to know. People who want to employ you based on what you know. I can remember a one-time president of this country, our former president Olusegun Obasanjo, when he employed his aide and then his commissioners, in one of the meetings he had with them, or the very first meeting he had with them, he said, "I have employed you as a special advisor to me. Don't let me be the one to advise you." That case applies to work. So when you are being employed, they expect you to have known. That is why the other video I made, I talked about you picking a skill. That is where I will still make mention of some things like that, much later, where you need to go and get experience. Those skills you are going to learn are actually you gathering job experiences. Go to civil engineering companies, assuming you are studying building tech or civil engineering. go to any civil engineering company, register to work with them for free just to get the experience. Imagine a situation whereby you have worked with Julius Berger, you have worked with MCC, you have worked with RCC, and then just for free, every Saturdays and Sundays, you engage in weekend works for them. Whatever they are working, you go on site, you learn how to drive those tractors, you learn how to operate 1 or 2 civil engineering machines, you gather these experiences, you interact with them, you get to learn how to be friendly, how to manage people in the field, human resource management, how to relate with clients. You study all this in the process of you getting a job, and you are still a student, but every weekend you go to get these jobs, to do them, and then you are not just doing them and walking away, you are being strategic about it. By the time you are finishing with Julius Berger, for instance, you get an endorsement letter or a letter of recommendation from the human resource to recommend the father. If you worked with them, maybe you stayed for 1 year internship, 1 year of weekend jobs, they give you a recommendation letter, you put it in your CV, actually gathering CVs. By the time you're graduating in final year, you have recommendation letter from 4 human resource construction companies that are recommending you that you are good, that you worked with them. It's experience. You've gathered job experiences from 4 different construction companies, and then you have those 4 human resource managers from those 4 companies as your friend, who may end up becoming your reference. So when the person who is calling you to the interview room is looking at your CV, he looks at your reference, he found out that 4 different construction companies have you as referencing you. The human resource manager is referencing you. They will be inquisitive to know there must be something about this man, and they will start asking you questions. These are smart moves smart students do. You don't tie your legs inside the campus because you want to read out your brain. Do that is important, but be smart. Engage your weekend. Leave those as shapey picnics, parties, drinking, and all that. The time will come, but for now, let's do the needful. Give little time to fun, but much time to work and strategic work. Engaging yourself with your CV. I'm teaching you how to build up CV, how to build up, your experience level, how to build it up by engaging in skill acquisition from different companies that are in line with the career you want to learn. That's another part to it. You pick up those job experiences. Don't go looking for money. Go and work, volunteer staff. By the time you do this for that period of 6 months and 1 year, and you have 3-4 different of them with letters of recommendations, guys, trust me, you're flying. Yes, you are, because you have learned, you have gathered experiences in your head, and you have evidence as letter of recommendation. And if you went further to build friendship with their top management personnel, they can become your references in your CV. So this is a smart move. I just gave you something to work with to help you build up a healthy and a good CV, not a one slanky piece of paper and that is empty of weight and value. People want to employ value. That's what they want to pay you for. They don't want to employ you. They will train you, yes, but they want to know that you are a little above normal, above average, and not a baby that will start nursing and start spoon feeding. No, they want a professional that will give weight to what they do, that will add value to their company. I hope you are still with me on that CV. So your CV is still on your screen. Just look through it, and then from there, plan and write out your CV. Then call us or send us a text, and we will help you in any way we can prepare your CV with the number on your screen. Thank you. Then I move to the second section. That's the interview part of it. That's where actually a lot of people mix out. You are supposed to understand that in interview is actually your CV represented in you. They want to be sure that what we saw in the paper, that CV is selling you, but that interview is more like your aptitude test. Let's find out. Some companies don't do written tests on all that. They actually go straight from the CV to calling for interview. And when you go to the interview, a lot of things are monitored. Like, for instance, some interview halls are very long hall. The board of directors or the examiners or the interviewers are at the extreme of the hall. So while you're walking into the hall, they are watching your step. And if you see a confident person, which is one of the things the company wants to employ, they want to employ confident people, and they know confident assumes from wealth of content. A mediocre and a low self-esteem person doesn't have confidence, but your confidence appears while you walk and while you talk. So as you are coming in, while you are still walking towards them, they're already writing something, they're already observing something. Let me shock you with this information. Somebody went for a job interview and he passed. But while he was leaving, he left the door open. He didn't close it. And they called him back and told him, consider yourself fired. See, as careless as that little mistake is, he lost a job because of it. So every detail of you in that place is actually being monitored. And another part to it is this: you might find yourself in a large hall with a lot of people who came for interview. Don't be carried away. Some of the people you are seeing that came for interview are not really there for interview. They are actually people that, some of them are staffs in the company that we are called to come and sample your ideas, your views, your enthusiasm about the job, and the interview has started. In fact, once you are in the company premises, starting from the gate man you met at the gate to everything that happened within that premises for that day you came for interview is actually you doing your interview. It might surprise you to know that the room where you guys are seated making noise, gisting, some of you are chewing gum, some of you are mixing up at that point, you are chatting loud, you are laughing, you are engaging in frivolous talks. You don't know that there's a camera capturing you and they are in their room watching you and then observing what you're doing. What that camera is capturing is your motions. Sometimes if they don't have someone inside, they always have camera watching and observing to know your activities and your conduct. They are very careful because once they get you in, you're already employed. You are a member of the company. They are paying you. Their money is going into you. A lot of them, when they employ you, they don't just sack anyhow. You have to pass through rigorous processes before you are sacked. And at that point, they want to be sure that who we are bringing is someone that will not give us trouble or will not spend extra time trying to rebrand a madman who has actually messed up his or her life. So from the moment you enter that environment, you're ready on your interview. So back to what I was saying, once you're walking towards the board who are seated for your interview, walk confidently, walk majestically, and make sure you dress corporate. Don't come and wear Ankara. You going for native doctor interview. We are corporate. You're going for a corporate job. It's called white collar job, not blue collar, not village collar job. So you dress the occasion, you dress smartly, then you apply light makeup as a young lady and avoid color riots. Just dress smartly and neatly so that while you're walking towards the board, you're walking confidently. When they are looking into your eyes and they're asking you questions, you just always throw out some little smiles. Smiles adds beauty to your face. Smile shows a level of confidence. While you're smiling, answering your questions, answer from your stomach. What do I mean? Answer from your heart. And then don't avoid questions like I don't know. No, avoid answers like I don't know. I have limited information regarding that, but if I may say, that's why I need to be a genius. Know little about everything. And then some of them can start with football. Some of them will want to taste your patient level and start talking about, are you married? How many children do you have? You know, some of those uncertain and unpredicted questions can come. Calmly answer them with smiles. What's your view about marriage and life generally? These are part of the questions. Tell us a little about yourself. With a smile, you just be telling them, my name is Cyril Benedict Nzubechukwu. I am a young man within my middle 20s and I love speaking and writing. I love venturing into new things and making the best out of it. That's the little about me. I love adventures, and this your company I've seen is a new one, so I've come to bury my wealth of experience to make sure I bring out the best of the company based on who I am. I'm very concise. It's okay. Who do you really think you are? I am a highly optimistic young man who believes there is no impossibility. Every job can be done. Guy, you must be willing to sell yourself. This job and what you're looking for, 1,001 people are looking for it. So don't go there and fold your hands. You must learn how to talk. Yes, and talk well. That's the only way you can sell yourself. They will look at it, they will be marking it. Then while you're talking, just be composed and be straight. Don't go and tell them your negatives. Sell yourself well. Within that 5 minutes, within that 3 minutes, answer your questions concise and be on point, and then get the best of the interview. If there are further questions on that, don't forget my number is on the screen. Then chat me up and then let's talk about it. Then strategic positioning for jobs. Some of the jobs out there are not actually advertised. Some jobs are actually gotten out of recommendation. Most of the jobs I have done was recommended. I didn't have to go looking for it. Someone just got a material from me and then invited me to the office. I went and we spoke, blah, blah, blah. And they say, okay, you are in for the job. The recommendations. That is why now you are still in school, build networks. Go and look for jobs. Volunteer jobs in those parastatals you want to work. While you are doing the volunteer job, establish friendship with the staffs of the company, and then so that some of them can become a network that will recommend you, because every company has a network of other companies that they relate with that works the same thing they do. For instance, company like Milo company, a beverage company like Milo, and Milk, Peak Milk, their marketers, their staff always have a place they meet, more like a network. So if you find yourself doing an IT in a beverage company like Milo or Peak Milk, and you have good relationships with them, when you're out of school finally, maybe you are doing weekend jobs with them on volunteer base, you are out of school, you call the manager, say, sir, I'm out of school, I've actually done volunteer jobs well, I was hoping if I can get a placement in your company. It's okay, no, we are not hiring at the moment, but I've had my friend in Milo, they say they are hiring, I will tell him that you are coming. You don't need to even line up, just carry your CV, submit it, they call you, 10-15 minutes interview, you are gone and you are in the job already. So what do I mean? Networking. Network with the right kind of people within the sphere of job you want to get. Don't go and be mixing up with riffraffs and waste all your time in school. Be smart about the job you want to do. Get very critical and intentional while you are networking, so that you can network rightly to the field you are going to. It's a very simple game. And then one of the other ways is what going online to look out for the likes of Dragnet, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is actually a professional social media that has a way of linking professionals to or networking professionals. So you can join LinkedIn. It's on your screen. We have Salesforce, we have Workforce, we have hotnigerianjob.com, we have jobmark.com. There are a lot of them. Just Google it, and while you are googling, you are sending your CVs. You are sending your CVs, and then your CV, which you have prepared neatly well. When they receive your CV, some of them will call you for interviews and all that. And when you get there, you sell yourself the best. But one of the best strategies to getting job is networking, positioning, someone recommending you. Just by recommendation comes. You don't need to sweat. You don't need to struggle so much. You just to sit down. You get the interviews. The interviews to fulfill your righteousness because you were highly recommended. Someone that the company respects so much recommended you, and they'll just absorb you immediately. So take your time now to build your network, and then get online, and then get out all this. Maybe you're in your final year. I don't expect you that in your final year you don't know all this, but if you don't, this city has provided you the opportunity to know it. Dragnet is there, LinkedIn is there, Salesforce is there, Workforce is there, hotnigerianjob.com and jobmark.com, and a whole lot of them. Once you get registered with them, they will be supplying you with job notifications at every time, on and on. With the job notifications you have, you use it to plan yourself and then make your CVs available and go for interviews. Trust me, 6 months or 1 year is too much after graduation. You will surely be placed. The problem is some graduates leave school without having idea of what to do with their life, without having a clear picture or the direction their life will have to take. But a wise person will take this information seriously and act with them accordingly. Don't forget, my number is there on the screen. Having bought this CD, you are automatically a part of us. We don't hire, we don't recommend people for companies. We just train you and get you ready and make you employable as a young graduate or as an undergraduate. That's our job. We can prepare your CVs for you. We can help to show you a network of companies that are hiring, or where you can go and submit your CV and be hired. These are what we do. Then we inspire your mind with wisdom, with knowledge that will prepare you and make you strong and confident. You will have a lot of those of these coming up on the labor market conference that will be coming around your school. I'm having talks with your school management and then getting them to approve it. Once they approve it, every final year in your school we have to be seated in a conference, and then we teach you these things in details so that you would learn and then go out and become productive graduates. Nigeria depends on you for change, and you can't come and waste your time gallivanting without getting properly placed. For the ladies, don't go there without substance. When you go there without substance, you will waste your time. Men will want to take advantage of you, and when you start sleeping to get a job, you have to sleep with them to sustain the job. So how long do you want to become a sex slave to someone just because you want a job? Professionally, you should get a job because of your head and not because of your waist. Your head should give you a job. When your head gives you a job, the head will sustain the job. So it's up to you. I really appreciate you for your time, and I believe you've learned quite a number of things from this video. The rest are up to you, and I await your feedback. Send us a text, give me a call. Let me know what you felt or how you felt about the CDs and the questions you have to ask. My WhatsApp number is there. Let's work together as a team and help you reach your desired future. I believe so much in you. God bless you.